Welcome back to PT and good morning. We are currently looking at a busy one on our major routes already this morning. It's not bad, more typical. The problem that we did have on the eastbound QEW heading through Mississauga Road, that is all gone now, which is fantastic. But we are still looking at the delay on the eastbound QEW from about Southdown over to Dixie. So do keep that in mind. It is a little bit busy, but this is pretty typical for your morning commute. As you head towards the Gardner, things do slow down from about Park Lawn to east of the Humber Bridge. So do keep that in mind as well. It is a little bit busy, but the good news here is that we aren't looking at any big problems. Southbound 404 DVP combo, that is slow from the 401 to about Lawrence. And something to keep in mind for this weekend is that we do have the Don Valley Parkway closed for spring maintenance from the 401 down to the Gardner in both directions. So do keep that in mind as we do have those two big games coming up. That's a look at traffic. Now sending things over to Frank.
Yeah, let's talk about one of those big games tonight. Jurassic Park, of course. It kicks off at 8:30. That's the official start of game time. But I'm giving you 7 o'clock because many will be making their way down to Jurassic Park at that time. Looks like it's going to be dry. By about 7 p.m., we'll start to get out of some of the humidity as well, 20 degrees. At 11 o'clock, we'll see partly cloudy skies. It'll be nice, 15 winds at that time, nice and light. We have lots of warmth on the way for the city of Toronto. We're starting to see that move its way in. Already this morning, Windsor's at 17. We're currently at 10. That daytime high is going to go to 25, and we're going to get into a humid air mass. With that humid air mass as well, we're going to get into the risk of some thunderstorm activity. Starting just to see that move its way into Detroit right now. It'll work its way into southwestern Ontario. Timing looks like just around the noon hour. But keep your eyes to the skies, and that's going to last up till about 5 or 6. As I mentioned, that high of 25, feeling 30. Tomorrow, 23 with a breezy wind. We'll get rid of the humidity, and then umbrellas required for Saturday. 10 to 15 millimeters of rain and a high 22. Now it's on to your news.
In our top story this morning, crews, they seem to have the upper hand on a 3-alarm blaze at the abandoned Peacock Hotel, which is in the Junction. And those who are forced from some neighboring apartments now allowed back into their homes. Let's get live to our Tammy Sutherland. She's been there all morning long. From the flames to what we are at right now. Good morning, Tammy.
Good morning, Melanie. About half an hour ago when we last spoke to you, we were telling you that some of the firefighters, they had been ordered out of the structure because of danger. It looks like they are now back inside. They're resuming their room-by-room search, looking to see whether or not anyone may have been inside of the building at the time of the fire. The fire started at about 3:20 this morning. It began as a 2-alarm fire and then quickly escalated to a 3-alarm blaze, but fire officials say that as of right now, they think that they have this under control.
The status is right now we seem to have gained control on the fire. So before we put it under control, we want to get the fire on the roof, make sure the fire's fully out before we put it under control. When I arrived here, all flames were coming out of all these windows, and the crews did an aggressive interior attack, and they did a great job to stop this fire.
Now, there's a lot of history behind this hotel. It was built back in the 1800s here in Toronto, and more recently it was used as a rooming house. Now, the back of the building, there was a partial collapse there last summer. We're not sure whether or not any work was done since then in order to keep the building structurally sound. Now, both fire investigators as well as the fire marshal's office, they have been notified, according to Toronto Fire. They just told us that moments ago. So again, those investigators will be looking into a cause and determining whether or not this is something that is suspicious. Mel, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Tammy Sutherland, thank you so much for that. Time now 6:35. Still no relief from some wild weather that's been hitting the central and Midwest U.S. More tornadoes ripping through yesterday, killing at least 3 people. Have a look at the aftermath. This is near Golden City, Missouri. It comes on the 8th anniversary of a massive twister in the state that killed 161 people. Now, these tornadoes, the latest in a series of more than 130. The death toll in the region, including from heavy rain and flooding, stands at 7. To China now, where a large area under a heat wave. Officials issuing a yellow alert warning residents to guard against this hot weather. The temperature has been in the 37 to 39 degrees Celsius range. Some cities have been misting streets to cool things down, while many people have turned to umbrellas to shade themselves from all of that scorching sunshine. Some schools canceling classes. The temperature is expected to drop on Sunday. In India, Narendra Modi is set to be re-elected as prime minister in a historic landslide victory. Hundreds of millions of votes are being counted in the country's marathon general election. Final results expected soon, but a coalition led by Modi's party is already preparing to form next government, and it looks like his majority will get even stronger. Indian stocks are hitting record highs on this news, and Modi has promised to cut red tape and boost domestic and foreign investment.